Hello everybody, this is Derek Duct Tape Man here. First I'd like to say thank you for going on my channel and watching my videos. Now this video, I'm going to continue my series on Friday the 13th. And this is one where I'm going to discuss on the movie. Which I'm hoping to be able to at least, as much as I talk about movie, keep it to a minimum. But there's a lessons here. And it's a movie basically, Friday the 13th. It's basically a movie that no one should be even seeing, let alone somebody's a Christian or promoting. Which is not what I'm doing. I'm just using it to learn lessons. Like I always say, just because a movie is basically something that should not be seen by anyone, it doesn't mean it's wrong to use it to learn lessons from. Not at all. That's what I hope to do. So I'll give it a ground bake just in case you don't really realize this, but main character through all this Friday the 13th movie, the sequels, is a boy who grew up. His name is Jason Voorhees, and supposedly he drowned in the lake and during a camp. And the first one was his mother was a killer. There's a lot of them that Jason was not really a killer. And there's even one of them where they all killed off each other, which I'm not sure how that worked, but. Anyway, Mrs. Voorhees, her son, Jason, drowned in the lake. Or supposedly he drowned and his body was never recovered. No, there's some theories like a terrorist group or some gang took his body and just made him a... Which, something that, on a side note, Russian dictator Joseph Stalin tried to do this. So this is loosely based on that, by the way. What Stalin tried to do, and he was a messed up person too. But going back to the movie here, so somehow he came back, whether from a dead or what, doesn't really say. But which his mother, first, like I said, killed off these counselors. They're trying to reopen the camp. She didn't want to open, so she decided to kill off a lot of the counselors. She killed everybody off except for this one young lady, which she kills the killer. And supposedly what happened, Jason watched, and Jason keeps on coming back in each movie. So, and eventually he became a zombie. And start being a killer zombie, which, like I said, is based on what Joseph Stalin did, loosely. So, and that's the thing here. Sometimes, and the reason why he wore his mask, not to hide his identity, but he wore the hockey mask to hide the deformed face he had. He has which some people call deformities, which. He hid it. That's why he wore it. And the second one, he had a bag over his head. And the third one was introduced him in the hockey mask, which has become an icon now. And name of this deformity is Hydrocephalus, which I'll have it spelled down here. It basically means water on the brain. It means there's fluid builds up along your brain, and it has pressurized on your brain, and that can cause really serious effects. Some of it can be caused by injuries, some of it can be caused by either bacterial or viral, but mostly it's a genetic thing. And it's deformities. And I've known people who had some really severe cases where they can't even walk. And it's really, in a way, there's a reason, I guess, but it's really can be a very devastating on somebody who has it in their families. Now, a lot of people have it, or very mild, which is, I guess, a good thing. That's the thing. Oh, I'll also have a link on hydrocephalus too, if you want to look more up about it. And is there really such thing as a deformity? No. This includes others too, like Down syndrome, autism, which I know a lot of people have. But is this really a deformity? And let's see what God says about this. And we'll, verses of scripture I'm going to read, and right here they are. Psalm 119, verse 14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Colossians 1:16. For by him were all things created, that are in heaven, and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones, or dominions, or principalities, or powers. All things were created by him and for him. In this video here, verses I've read, it shows what God thinks of it. In his eyes, deformities don't exist. So when you're saying somebody's deformed, pretty much what you're doing is you're insulting God. Is what you're doing. Because he created them to be something special, magnificent, wonderful, like in those verses, in these verses. Because he created everything, and he did not create anything to be deformed. So he has a plan in what he does. Like I said, in God's eyes, there's no such thing as deformed people. You know, and that's why you should never make fun of or pick on somebody just because they're different. Not just going to go for hydrocephalus. That goes for all kinds too, like Down syndrome, autism. You're supposed to accept them like they are, people. They're no different than you and I. In my previous videos, I said, someone else is different is no different than you're different. So, that's the thing here. You know, take that as a blessing if you get to know somebody who's you know, it's like, may not just fit the, or whatever you want to call it, but, you know, they're not deformed. There's nothing wrong with them at all. There's nothing really different about them all. We're all different, so that's the thing here. Understand there's a reason why they are the way they are. And God has a purpose for it. So, these medical experts, really, if you go by them, I'm not saying doctors are wrong, or saying you never should listen to a doctor, because God gave us doctors, very smart people who know how to help us. So I'm not really picking on them either, or anyone in a medical profession. I am not picking on whatsoever. But understand, when somebody's saying they're deformed, they're really insulting God, because God does not make deformities. He does not recognize deformities at all. So if you get to know somebody who has either like hydrocephalus, Down syndrome, autism, or any others, take that as a blessing. You get to know them. And that can be something very special. And if you get to know them, you may think, like some of the people I have, friends I have, they're cool people. You'll see how they're cool people. So, you should always accept them and welcome them in. If you're somebody who does have these, you know, I don't want to, as you guys say, I want to go along with what I preach here. I said, special. Everybody's special. I hope I got the message across here. I'd like to say, this is Derek Duct Tape Man here, saying thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, like, and hit notifications to get more videos of me. This is Derek Duct Tape Man saying see you later. Goodbye.